Today, I want to talk about camera monitors. I've used about every camera monitor brand there is out there, from $2,500 monitors all the way down to the really cheap $60 monitors. And in this video, I wanted to talk about really good, cheap budget camera monitors, because most of us solo filmmakers are not going out there and spending hundreds or even thousands of dollars on camera monitors. I wanted to keep things in the budget range for the average filmmaker. Last week, I had a company called Andy Cine reach out to me and ask if I would test out their new X5 monitor. Of course, I said yes. They gave the monitor to me for free, no money exchanged hands. And this video is all my own thoughts and opinions. They do not get to see it, blah, 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 the normal YouTuber. You know, I'm not getting paid to say certain things about this monitor. And I've talked before about how I'm not a fan of when people get stuff from companies, they say things positive just to say things positively. So I will be ripping into the negatives about this monitor and its package that it comes with pretty extensively, because it's under $200. It's not going to be perfect, but it is really good, and I do want to talk about it, and I'm going to compare and contrast it to the current monitor I have. So my current camera monitor is a Portkeys PT5. I think it's a 5.2-inch monitor, which is literally the exact same size as my phone. It comes in this little carry case here, which if you're somebody who cares about carry cases, it's a good one. It doesn't have a handle. The foam inside's kind of loose. Inside is the monitor. When I originally bought this, it came with a bunch of cables and a monitor mount, which the monitor mount I immediately threw away. I have yet to buy or use a camera monitor where the original camera monitor mount was actually good. But this is a good little monitor, and I've had it for about a year and I like it. Some of my favorite things about this is it has pretty much every feature you need. It even has airy false color, which is nice. I do like using that. It uses MPF batteries, and it also uses some Canon batteries as well if you want to use either. So you have an option if you happen to be a Canon shooter. My biggest thing about this monitor, and it's something that I have no clue why more expensive monitors don't have, but an actually like dedicated power on and off switch. One way is on, the other way is off. And I love that. I hate having to press a button. Atomos does a horrible job with their on and off buttons for their Shinobi and their Ninja. I feel like I can never turn the monitor on and off in one try, and that's really annoying to me. When I'm shooting run and gun style, knowing that I can just flick my monitor off and save battery and I don't have to look at it and wonder whether my monitor is on or off is really nice, and that's something I really love about this. However, it is like dummy small. Like, put my phone behind it, it's the same size as my phone. And that happens a lot when I'm on set. People will go, oh, are you using a phone as a monitor? No, it's this. It's small, but it gets the job done, and I do like it. It's not super bright. I'll put up all the stats on the screen, but it's a good little monitor. HDMI in, HDMI out, headphone port, on and off switch, a USB Type A port for installing 3D LUTs, and I think it's a 12 volts. I could be wrong on this. 7 to 24 volts DC in. So you can use just about any barrel power delivery system, and it's got 1 1/4-inch screw on the bottom to mount it. So overall, it's a decent little monitor for about $130. I don't regret purchasing it. It's quite a nice monitor, but I want to talk about the Andy Cine monitor because it's got a lot of pros that I think for in the same-ish price point really beats out Portkeys. This is the box that the Andy Cine X5 monitor comes in. It's got a handle, some nice zippers, and overall the quality feels really, really good. I would probably pay like 30 bucks for a case like this. So straight off the bat for a monitor package, I'm gonna call this a monitor package because there's a lot more than just the monitor in the box, and that matters, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the price points are 130 bucks for the Portkeys and 190 for this. And I'm just gonna do some math while we go through this and figure out where those numbers lie and why this is worth the money. I think the case is probably, again, in my opinion, worth about 30 bucks, but you know, you can discount that if you're not a case person. But here's the monitor itself. I'm gonna pull out my phone again. Monitor, phone. There's a pretty, you know, visible size difference here. I love this monitor. I'm gonna talk about its hardware real quick. Aluminum shell. It's got a 1/4-inch thread at the top, at the bottom, and on the side. So you can mount this monitor, you know, if you're using a shoulder rig, you can actually mount it properly without having to flip it, which is nice. If you do vertical stuff, you can also mount it vertically. So I like that fact. It's got HDMI in, HDMI out, and power delivery, all on the same side, which I absolutely love. It has more stuff on the bottom. It's got another DC in with USB Type-C. It's got your headphones and a DC out on the monitor, which I'm not sure that I would use the DC out, but that's really nice to have. And if I was using like wireless video transfer and I wanted to put a wireless pack on the back, being able to run DC out so I don't have to run an extra cable for my V-mount would actually be useful. And I absolutely would use that feature. Another thing I really like about this monitor that the Portkeys monitor doesn't have, and most monitors in this price range don't have, are physical buttons. I love the fact that there's 3, function buttons plus the menu button at the top. I absolutely love having that, but on the flip side, they unfortunately just have a press and hold power button, which I'm not a fan of. Like I said earlier, I love being able to flick a switch and know whether my monitor is on or off. However, this does power up and power off real quick, so it's not too big of a deal. Now on the back, it does take MPF style batteries. Now, this is where I think this monitor is really worth the money. It comes with an MPF 550 battery. I was pleasantly surprised to open the package and find a quite sizable MPF 550 battery. Now, not only did it come with a battery, but the battery even has a button on the back. You probably can't see it on the camera, but it has a button on the back to indicate the power level, which is super useful. I have some newer MPF style batteries and they absolutely do not do that. So that is a nice feature to have. And on top of that, you don't need a charger to charge the battery. It has USB-C on the side. So in the package, they're giving you absolutely everything you possibly need to turn on your monitor and just go straight from opening the box. It also comes with some cables. I think it came with a full-size HDMI to HDMI and a micro HDMI to HDMI. It also came with a USB Type-C to Type-A adapter. Again, just if you needed to charge this battery, that's all that's for. And I guess also if you wanted to do power delivery via USB-A. So they're covering you in your bases so that you can go straight from opening your monitor out of the box, putting it on your camera, and you can run straight up, which I appreciate considering when I bought my Portkeys monitor, it didn't come with all the necessary things to get it up and running from the get-go, and I had to wait an extra 2 days for my power delivery cable to arrive in the mail, which kind of sucked, to be honest. Now I'm gonna put the specs of this on the screen, but one of the biggest, I guess, wins about this monitor is that it's 1200 nits. So out in the sun, you can actually see it. Now, another feature this monitor has is the ability to lock the screen. So I can unlock it and I can kind of drag up and down to adjust my backlight, and I can also adjust my volume and bring up any of the features I want from the bottom here, just select any of those. In addition to the function buttons. But if you press the power button, you can also lock the monitor so that you can't do anything, which is super nice. And again, the Portkeys monitor does not have that feature. At least I never found it on that monitor if it does. So this monitor is absolutely packed with a ton of different features. It's got everything you need: false color, airy false color, which are kind of musts for me. Those are non-negotiables in my opinion, but I do like having those on my monitor and not having to either have a camera that has that or, get an entirely different monitor. And for under 200 bucks, it's a pretty good deal. All in all, putting these two monitors side to side, I definitely would go with the Andy Cine monitor. I've had a great run with my Portkeys monitor and I will continue to use this on my other cameras. But as for my main rig, I think I'm gonna stick with this for now, at least until I get a 7-inch monitor, because even with the seemingly small size upgrade to the actual monitor itself, it feels a whole lot larger when sitting on my camera, and I feel like I have a whole lot more viewing space on the monitor itself, which when shooting anamorphic is a big deal to me. I don't really love 5-inch monitors when shooting anamorphic, but 5.5 seems to do the trick. So I'll probably keep this for a little while, and if I feel the need to still upgrade to 7 inches, I will. But until then, I really do like this monitor, and I would suggest that anybody else who is out there looking for either upgrade to their current monitor or they're looking for their first monitor for the camera to consider this, because $190 for, probably what's gonna cost you to run this is a really good deal between, the cost of the actual battery, which you'll probably spend, 40 or 50 bucks, maybe not that much. That's if you're getting a package, I suppose, but you probably spend 30 bucks on a battery. An extra 15 to 20 on the cables. And at that point, you might as well just spring for this because it comes with that stuff and you don't have to buy it extra with the cheaper monitors. Again, it's really bright, it's really clear. The colors out of it are really good. I would suggest this to anybody who's looking for a new monitor. Again, I do want to reiterate that they are not in any way, suggesting I say anything good about this monitor. I just genuinely liked it, and this is my own opinion. I'll probably make another video about it in the next coming weeks as I've used it more. And if there's something I find out about this that I really don't like, I'll make sure to put it in that video, and everything that I do continue to like, I'll make sure to say it there too. So if you're curious about this monitor or any other budget monitors, make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned because I have more coming your way. Until next time.